Hey race fans, welcome to Backseat Drivers. I'm Alex Weaver here in Studio 3, and the trend of the Stage 2 winner winning at Las Vegas continues. Hendrick Motorsports goes back-to-back. This time it's the number 5 of Kyle Larson that hits the jackpot out at Vegas. We have to think Hendrick Motorsports is the best organization in the garage with 2 drivers already locked into the playoffs, right? And should Kevin Harvick be worried? I'm just hoping Jeff Gordon's going to show up with his DJ booth. 2 guys I know who would show up to that party, regardless of if Jeff Gordon's coming or not. New faces to the back seat, but some old friends, Kyle Long and Paul Swan. Hey, fellas.
How are we doing?
All right, so Paul, you're here on the show already. You were on pit crew and on pit lane yesterday. You a little bit tired? You caught some sleep yet?
Hey, the juice never runs out with me. Anybody who knows me knows I'm energized 100% of the time. Running on a little sleep here, but ready to go. Fired up to be on the show.
Always. The juice is never low with you two. All right, let's get right into it because I want to start by asking the question that I think everybody is wondering right now for the start of the season. Is Hendrick Motorsports the team to beat, and are they the best team in the garage? Paul, I'm starting with you.
I mean, it's tough. It's tough to go against that. You got 2 of the 4 winners from Hendrick. I think Chevy as a whole right now is just super strong. I think with the new technical alliance that they all have, I think it's doing very well for all the teams. I know we've been putting together some strong performances at RCR, and we're liking our speed. Las Vegas didn't go the way we wanted it to go, but we're ready to keep it pushing. And I think, like you said, it's tough to bet against Hendrick right now. They are looking really strong. Kyle Larson coming into that stable has been huge for them, I think, and sky's the limit for that team right now for sure.
Kyle, you agree?
You pair that skill set of Kyle Larson with the team like Hendrick, and you can see, like we had yesterday, it was just a dominant showing. Top side, bottom side, he could do whatever he wanted. That car was an extension of his mind.
Ooh, extension of the mind. I like that.
Use that next time, Paul. You got some new material. All right. So, per usual, left in NASCAR is usually good, and right is the direction you don't necessarily want to go. So, for this segment, our left and right segment, left is yes, and right is no. Kyle, is Kyle Larson a threat for the 2021 championship?
Right. Yes.
Okay. All right, so you're going with Kyle is going to be in the Champ 4?
Yes, absolutely. Based on what
All right. Okay, Paul, what about you? Is Kyle Larson a threat for the championship?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think he is he's definitely a contender, and he showed why yesterday.
Okay, and now this one's going to be a little bit tough, but who gets the most wins out of Hendrick this season? I think everybody kind of expected for the 9 of Chase Elliott to show up after winning that championship, but his other 2 teammates have already gotten a win. Paul, who gets the most wins out of HMS?
Gosh, I mean, that's a tough one because you see what Kyle Larson did yesterday, how dominant he was. You know how dominant Chase can be. There's 7 road courses on the circuit this season, which obviously we know bodes well for Chase, but also I think can bode well for Kyle with all his dirt experience and anything that guy gets behind, he wheels, and it's going to be interesting. I think I am going to go with Chase Elliott though.
I'm gonna have to take Kyle Larson, Alex. And although I do feel like these road courses are so advantageous for Chase, we saw it last year. We discussed it at length. But you give a guy like Kyle Larson a second chance, and you give him some opportunity in a really fast race car. Watch out.
Yeah, Kyle Larson shows the dominance on the 1.5 miles as well, so we'll see how those bode for the number 5. All right, next up, the racing at Las Vegas, and I just kind of want to get your take on this from both of you. It was so good. I felt like it was some of the best racing we've seen in a while, especially in an intermediate track. There was 35 green flag passes just in stage 1. What'd you think of the racing, Kyle?
Man, it was fun to watch. Even my older brother was watching. He said, do they race like this every time? I mean, the green flag drops, you're 3 wide, 4 wide. Even the announcers are sitting there in shock. It's great racing. It's great for the sport.
Paul, you had a little bit different view than watching on TV. What did you think of the racing?
Yeah, so it's funny you say that. Like, I think about it, I can always tell when it's like a really great and fun and entertaining race because like I watch it and like watch stuff from a different perspective being down on pit road. My focus is a little different on what I'm watching and what I'm waiting for. But I always turn into a fan a little bit when I can tell that it's good racing. And yesterday definitely was that. The 4 wide racing, hearing our spotter on the radio, you're 4 wide, this is happening. You kind of like, oh, where can I see? Like, I need to see this. I want to watch this. And luckily we had the big Megatron right in front of our pit stall. So that was nice, but awesome racing. Good to see a lot of fans back in the stands. Really looking forward to what the rest of the season is going to have to offer.
I'll piggyback on that, Alex. I think the fans being back in the stands at the COVID capacity, was awesome. It felt on TV like I was watching a real race again with the real fanfare.
Yeah, it was awesome when they cut to shots of the fans in the stands and all the racing memorabilia and merch on them. It was like we were back in the game here. It was normal again.
I seen there was a little, I caught it on TV. There was a scene where I saw like a Dale Earnhardt lookalike and up in the stands. That was funny.
Yeah, awesome. I hope we can, maybe we'll try and find them and get some selfie videos from those people. All right, so this next segment we like to call Are We There Yet? Because when you're on a road trip in the back seat, the inevitable question pops up, are we there yet? And when is the end of this trip? So, Paul, I'm starting with you on this one. Are we there yet? And is it time to worry over at Stewart-Haas Racing?
I think yes and no. I think for Kevin Harvick, he always figures it out. Big track for him coming up this weekend with Phoenix. We know how dominant he is there. I think for the other drivers, there definitely should be some worry creeping in. Obviously, Briscoe in his rookie year hasn't probably had the start he's wanted after winning 9 races in Xfinity. Custer, still somewhat inexperienced in the Cup Series, only in his second year. And Almirola just won that duel, and now he's kind of just gone quiet. So it's interesting because you have such a dominant driver with Harvick, and then you have 3 guys who are kind of, I think, scratching their heads a little bit. But I don't think for Harvick you need to worry. I think for the other 3 guys, a little worry is definitely creeping in.
I think for Harvick, I have this much worry. He's the reason I don't bet because I always wanted to bet against him and bet for other drivers, and he always spoils my Sundays. But I will Paul Custer, I'm not tremendously worried about. He's a young guy getting his feet wet in this series. But Almirola, I heard him speak yesterday after getting out of the infield care center, and he just seems down. And as an athlete, you don't want to be in that space where you start to have doubt creep in.
All right, so we're worried about select members of Stewart-Haas, but not the whole organization, is what I'm hearing. Got it. All right, so don't look now, but we're going the wrong way with the toilet paper roll. If you've been wondering how your favorite driver threads their toilet paper on their rolls at home, don't worry. The Backseat Drivers have you covered. In the house, is the toilet paper roll over or under?
I don't think we even think about it.
Like on the roll?
Oh,
Over.
Over, all the way.
over.
It's whichever way my wife decides she wants it to be.
It's over.
Definitely over.
I think it's under.
Anybody that under, don't ever trust them.
Over. The only way you can have your toilet paper.
Well, I don't know. When I put it on, I just put it on. I don't think about it.
It's definitely over.
But it's how my wife wants it, I know that.
I make sure it's over. I've never paid attention to that until you go and reach for it and your knuckle hits the wall. And it's like, that's annoying.
Now, in my personal opinion, there is a right or wrong answer for this. Kyle, I know Kate has it over there at the Long household. What's the toilet paper roll situation, over or under?
Well, as long as it's been replaced, if you use it, I don't really care which direction you put it in, but I would prefer coming at me. I feel like it's a little easier.
Yeah. All right, Paul, what about Mariel? How's she got it?
Yeah, so I'm a big over guy, not going to sugarcoat it. If it's not over, we're going to have some problems. Mariel.
Wait, that's towards the wall, over, or at you?
At you is
Over's
over.
at you.
Okay.
They're both coming at you, but the under is like, it's awkward. You got
I
to
just want to make sure, Paul.
Weird.
It's like the knuckle hits the hand when you go and reach for the toilet paper. If it's under, it's just a whole big fiasco. There's right or wrong.
That's the perfect word for it, fiasco, because that's exactly what it is.
Exactly. Well, we did take a poll and asked America what the toilet paper situation. We got really personal with some NASCAR fans. Over 80% of them said that it's over. I'm a little worried about the 10+% that said it was under.
Not sure what those people, what's wrong with them. Those are some
Me either, Paul. All right. Well, the bathroom break is now done, and it's time for food. We may have done that a little backwards for you boys, but it's time for a little fuel up and rapid fire in the drive-thru. This is a rapid fire test for Paul and Kyle. First up, Kyle, all three of the OEMs have already won so far this season. Which one pulls away first?
It's got to be Hendrick. It's got to be Hendrick.
So you're going with the Chevys.
No, the OEM. It's got to be the Chevy. I'm sorry. It's
Yeah, no, you're good. We know what team that is that runs that. All right, so the Chevys are going to pull away. Paul, what about you?
Got to go with the bow ties, of course.
Yeah, I wonder if you're a little biased in that answer. We like it. All right, so I asked you guys about Stewart Haas as a whole, but if you were Kevin Harvick in that number 4 camp, yes or no, are you worried?
Absolutely not.
Yes, because I don't have help when I need it.
All right. No, are you speaking of no teammates to help you out?
Yep.
Yep. Got it. All right. How much would you pay Jeff Gordon to DJ at your next party?
He's got to show up with the T-Rex car.
I had no idea that Jeff Gordon had this hidden talent. So this is amazing that he DJs on the side, and it's actually pretty good from what I hear. So I'm gonna
Doesn't surprise me though, Paul. Right? Like we're shocked a little bit, but not surprised. I mean, Jeff Gordon, whatever the heck he wants.
Got talent oozing through his body for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, are you paying Jeff Gordon as much as you would pay like Drake to come and perform?
I don't know. Jeff adds that, he adds that mystique a little bit because he's a NASCAR driver, so nobody thinks he's going to be great on the turntable.
True.
So maybe it's a little,
I think Jeff would be smart enough to bring Drake for help, and I'm sure he would cover those expenses. See, that's where you go.
Right. At least Nelly. Nelly did have Jeff Gordon in a song, so I feel like that's kind of a set pair already. All right, so there have been 4 different winners so far in 2021. In Phoenix, will we see one of those 4 winners win again, or is it a new winner for the season?
New winner, AD.
Okay.
New winner, and if you're asking me, I got to go with my guy, Joey Logano and TJ Makers.
You didn't say AD3. I think that was the answer Paul was waiting for. Sorry, Paul. I tried to team up there.
It's okay. It's all right.
All right, so if you guys know me, I am a football girl at heart too. I also love the game of football. I have 2 football players here on the show with me, so it was only right that I asked a football question, and I'm keeping it a little biased with this one because I'm a huge Deshaun Watson fan given my ties to Clemson. So Deshaun Watson is trying to get out of Houston. Should he go to the Chicago Bears or the Carolina Panthers? Paul, where's he going?
Well, I'd love to see him in the Panthers, but
Come on, help me out.
I feel like we'd have to give up too much for him. If we can find a way not to, definitely Panthers. But at this point, I got to go Bears.
Yeah, he played in Houston. He played in South Carolina, so I think the weather plays a factor in it. I know how cold it is in Chicago. I think the rainy weather quarterback, Russell Wilson, could end up in Chicago, and I think Deshaun should end up in Carolina.
I am surprised that you don't want him in Chicago.
Oh, it's what do I want and what are we going to get? Those are 2 different things.
All right. Got it.
Absolutely. That's perfectly said.
Got it. All right. Well, the Backseat Drivers have a NASCAR Fantasy League. Play along with us on NASCAR.com/fantasy and search for the Backseat Drivers, or simply type in the link you see below, play for bragging rights and your chance to be mentioned right here on the show. I have to make sure I get this right because we have J.A. Gillespie 90 who is leading after that Vegas race. But as far as the whole league is concerned, Paul, you're going to like this one. 83 fan is still the leader of the league.
Let's go, baby. Whoever you are, I love the name. Keep it up. Keep bringing us good energy.
Sure you would. All right. Well, the desert of Phoenix awaits. Let's get the one driver that's a lock for success at Phoenix. Kyle and Paul, these are your Phoenix winner picks. Kyle, I'm starting with you. Who you got?
You know, I already made this pick in the last segment, but I'm going to have to go back and say Joey Logano. He's done it before, and I'm looking forward to watching him do it again.
Okay. I hear you. I got to go with my guy, AD. He's been grinding all off season, putting the work in on the simulator, putting the work in the weight room. He's excited for Phoenix.
Both of those would be some new winners for the 2021 season. I'm also going to go with a new winner this season. I picked him last week. It didn't exactly go well for me, but I'm going with the 4 of Kevin Harvick. We'll see. We'll see if he gets it done. out there in the desert. Kyle and Paul, it is always a pleasure, and thanks so much for joining me here. Paul, go take a nap or something. I know you're still on some West Coast time. Fans, make sure to follow along all season long. NASCAR's heading to Phoenix. We're racing at Phoenix Raceway Sunday at 3:30 p.m. on Fox. We'll be right back here next week in studio. Make sure and join us then. Bye, guys.